Hello there guys, so welcome to a new video, and in today's video we'll be talking about Rainbow Six Siege operators. We'll be ranking them from S tier to F tier. Now, that being said, there is a lot of operators in this game, so we will be doing a little bit longer than usual video, so stick by, relax, enjoy, or just go to the end of the video and see my reaction. But I do really would appreciate if you stay, leave a like on the video, subscribe as well. On the other hand, if you do not agree with what I choose, do comment why. Let me know, and yeah, it kind of helps the channel, but it also creates a discussion. So I'd love to discuss what you like, what you didn't like on my selections. Like I said, it's very opinionated. It's my opinion. If you don't agree, it's okay to disagree. But do comment it out and let me know. On that being said, let's rate our first operator. So, for the first character, let's go for Sledge. Sledge is a really interesting character because it's one of my favorite operator to use. Not because he is any special or anything like that, because it's easy to use. In terms of his gun, absolutely love his gun. It's easy to use, it's also very user-friendly, less recoil, and it does a lot of damage. Also, to his utility, you have hand grenades, as in, it's such a useful tool to have with you. But his gadget is very questionable. And the reason I say this is because his gadget has ups and downs. Yes, you can actually absolutely smash the walls and whatnot, but you can get other operators to do that. But not only that is the ability for element of surprise with his tool is absolutely useless because he's so slow. By the time you hit a wall, you break the wall. By the time you put the hammer back in and take your gun out, by the time you do that, the enemy team on the other side will shoot you. That's always been my case with this character. They need to speed up his abilities. His ability is useful if he was more faster in using them in terms of, you know, drawing his weapon out. For example, if I break a wall and there is another person behind that wall, guess what? By the time I destroy it, that person will be like shook, like what the hell is going on? But by the time that element of surprise is gone, because by the time I smash the wall, put the hammer back, get my gun out, I'm dead. Because it takes forever for him to do that. The only way he's useful is just to break the walls or hatches if there is no enemy behind him, and that is kind of a bit useless. And as an operator who is free speed operator, he's slow. Not only he's slow movement, but he's also very slow at drawing his weapon out once he uses his gadget, and that kind of makes him really useless. I love this character, I love to use him, which is ease of use, but for when we talk about his usefulness to the team, it's absolutely zero, but also usefulness for the user himself, it's kind of be a big time when you can't even draw his weapon out as fast as possible. So for me, he goes for D tier. I'm not gonna put him in E. He still has useful gun and he still has useful tools to use around, but the he's not a good operator, and he deserves a buff in terms of his speed, or either operator speed, or mostly his speed of drawing his weapon out once he's using his hammer. That's my opinion, and he's gonna go on D section, even though I use this character a lot. I do love his gun a lot though, so that's one of the facts. Let's go for a defending operator, Castle. Castle is debatable, right? So with Castle, I have two main problems with Castle. One of them is when my teammate uses it, especially when I'm playing against a person that, it's not my friend, I'm not communicating with, the way they close up the objective and the way they close up the rotations. Not only that, but these kind of stuff puts me in more situational positions where I'm in more negative than positive. So a lot of the times I'm struggling with my game more than I'm trying to win the game when I'm playing with Castle, because he puts me in disadvantage massively. When, let's say, for example, I'm outside of the castle, what he breached, let's say he breaches all the objective and I'm the one outside, and if all the enemy team pushes into the objective, guess what? I'm going to be in disadvantage because I have to break that door to be able to get in. And if that's the case, that is the case, all the enemy team's going to know where I'm coming from. There's no way of me either flanking the enemy or using the rotations because they're all covered. And a lot of the times, I'm in disadvantage. Every single time I'm playing with Castle in my team, I'm always in disadvantage. It really depends. If you're playing with your friends, fair enough, you will have a better time. But for me personally, I always had a really bad time with castles because they either block off the objective or they block off the rotations, which puts us even more disadvantage. That being said, if you play with your teammates, if you're playing with a friend who you're communicating with, maybe there are certain positions that you'll do good. Castle's weapons are really good. Like UMP45, yes, slow fire rate, but it's deadly. There's absolutely zero recoil for you to, on your gun. And with a high unit, you can also put ACOG, so that's another positivity. But, like I said, it's very situational. And a lot of the times I play with Castle in my team, I'm always in disadvantage. It depends on where they put the Castle, but a lot of times it's the case. For that reason, because I'm always struggling, I'm going to put him on D tier. He's going to go D tier as well because he can look. If he's being used really good, he can go on higher tier. But every single time where I had a problem with this character is because my teammate screwed me over. I was always on disadvantage, and like I said, it depends on the games. And I'm very frustrated with this character. It's just like, yeah, he can be utilized, but a lot of the times I've been in more disadvantage, so I'm gonna leave him out. And you have to understand, he's really good character to slow down the enemy team to enter the objective, but I'm still gonna put him in D. That's why I think where he deserves to be, and that's mainly due to him giving us more negative impact to our team than positive when it comes to our teammates choosing them. And it kind of depends on your rank, right? If you put in a good rank game and if somebody who knows what they're doing, they'll do a good game. But personal experience, man, I'm just gonna get that one for D. Next up on the line, Gridlock. Gridlock is the big chungus of the team, right? Why did they make this character so big? I love Gridlock because not only Gridlock's weapons are useful, like I love his AUG, I love her machine gun. They're absolutely like they kick. They are really good. They're brutal, but her gadgets also really useful in terms of pushing the enemy team and also giving them a little bit of a pressure because once you use her gadget, like if you know how to do it, you can actually block off certain angles or certain corridors or positions to the point where they're not going to be able to push. And if they want to do push, they're either going to go through the spikes, which will reduce their damage, or they have to shoot those spikes, and that will kind of reveal their position. So she's really strong operator to use on enemy team. I'll say B tier. B tier for her is good. She can go for an A tier, but it really depends. But I think her A tier is still B tier is still good, and I think that's where she belongs. She's a solid operator to use. Oh, also, not to forget, she can also have EMPs on her grenade section, so you can even actually help your teammate opening a reinforced wall. So another plus point. On to the next one. Thatcher. Thatcher is questionable now, right? Like he's always banned. Don't get me wrong. His EMPs have massive radius. If somebody's using Cade or whatnot to get inside the objective, he's always going to be a top. But I'll say this with recently how bandit tricks being so frequent in my lobbies, Thatcher is really useless. Like, if I threw Thatcher, by the time what Bandit can, remove his gadget and then put it back on again, and by the time I do that, guess what? The EMP I just threw went to absolute shambles. It was absolutely useless because because it's useless. When there is a bandit trick, when there's a bandit going on in the background, you're going to be in more disadvantage than advantage. So that's the reason he's going to be lower than how I usually put him, just because of the bandit. So, like I said, if there is a bandit on the on the other team, that is going to be a loss. Moving on for the next one is Frost. Frost is one of again, Frost is one of my favorite characters, and the whole reason is because I love her gun. Yeah, it's really slow fire rate. It's not as useful when it comes to 1v1 maybe, but her gun is still solid. It it's like a big impact. It's like a truck hitting somebody. And her gadgets, I love it. You know, it can get people off. It's type of operator where I know my gadget is not going to kill anybody. I know my gadget is not going to be useful in certain situations, but it will slow down the enemy team, especially like for certain windows where I usually put 2 frost mats side to side. So if somebody shoots 1 frost mat, they're gonna get trapped on the second one. And this is a useful strategy to use with her. And that being said, like I said, that will deter enemy team from entering inside. When they see there's 2 mousetraps on a window, they'll go, okay, if I jump down, I can shoot that one, but I'm not going to be able to shoot the other one. So I'm not going to push through this side. So what that does is it kind of like pressures the team to, other team to go through the other routes. And that route might be heavily defended with my teammates. And that is solid. Or even if enemy team doesn't know that I exist in the map, guess what? They're going to step on the trap. Sometimes certain angles, for example, like staircase, the enemy team, when you go up the staircase, you're so like aimed up to the staircase to see if anybody's going to peek, where you do not, look downstairs and you get peeked. There's a trap down there, and it kind of slows them down. And even if I don't get them down, they will shoot the trap, and that will kind of give me a clue where they are. So I think this character is absolutely solid for my personal use. Now, is it going to be helpful? Sometimes. Is it going to be useful? Sometimes. You also understand, to come back to her gun again, she's got a secondary shotgun as well, so I personally believe she's on B tier. And she can't be any higher. She's in between B and C, if I'm being honest, but because I love this character and also ACOG on her gun, it's really easy to use and it's really effective. I love Frost. I love using Frost, so I'll say she's a B tier. Thunderbird. So, with Thunderbird, it's a bit skeptical, right? Because not only you can use her, but even if you die, you're still useful for your team because you still get to heal your teammates. As in, it's not going to be as high as Doc's healing, like one stim shot and you're pretty much really high up. But she is still useful for your team, regardless, even if you're useless as a player yourself. It's still a team playing character, and that's the reason I like her a lot. One thing I do not like about her is her weapon. Her weapon is not it's not bad, but it's just I personally do not like it. I do not like the way it feels. I do not like the way it shoots. I do not like the way it I don't know, man. I just don't like anything about that weapon. When you do not when you see something and when you play with something and you do not like, that's the issue. I just don't like it. I can't give a reason why. I just don't like the feel of it. I just don't like it. It is a useful character. Even if you die, you get to heal, but you remember, you also have the chances of healing your enemy team as well. So it has its ups and downs, but still useful character. I'll say C tier. Look, man, I'm stuck between C and B and for her, but I'm just gonna stick by C. So if what I'm gonna do is end of the video, I'm gonna be shuffling some stuff around. I'll just go through with them quickly and see what I believe each one deserves to be in. But I think let's put her in a B tier. Let's put her in a B tier because you have to understand healing is nah, screw it. C. She's going on C. I don't care. C. In my eyes, she's between C and B, but I'm gonna put her in C. And that's totally because of her gun and yeah, that's about it. And also ability to heal, but she's still useful for the team. Look, just because I put her in that section, it doesn't mean she's useless. She is still a solid character, but yeah, that's gonna be her position. Nook. With Nook, it's debatable, right? Because she recently received buff to her character, and the reason she got buff was because she wasn't picked as much, and also her gadget needed to be reworked. Her gadget now doesn't deplete, so even if you run, if you do stuff, unless you shoot or melee or whatever, that's when they're gonna see like some sort of a glitch on the camera. So you can actually sneak to the enemy team without being seen on the cameras, and that is so strong. That is really strong. But what does this character do in terms of what does this character put on the table for your teammates? You see, Rainbow Six Siege is very team-based game. Like if you do not play with your team, you do not play with your, you know, it's not like a lone soldier. It's not Call of Duty. You can't just run around and try to kill everybody. You have to play as a team. For your success really belongs to you playing as a team. And this character doesn't bring anything to the team. But that being said, her gadget is still absolutely strong. And that's if you're playing with a high ranked players who really do check the cameras a lot. It's very situational, right? But that being said, I'm still going to put her on C section. And that's just because yeah, her ability is kind of a bit strong, but it's not a good team play character. It's very solo type of playing character. And if you're like pretty much to help your other team, you can't. But it's still a solid character, but it's not the best character to choose still. And her gun is decent, so I'll give you that. Next up, Clash. Clash is debatable, right? As in, this whole video is debatable because you might not agree with what I choose and where I put them, but Clash is when you checked seasonal reports from Rainbow Six Siege, usually Clash is all the way at the bottom, weak and not frequently chosen because she's not winning a lot of games. Maybe on high rank that is, but you have to understand the amount of pressure this character gives to the enemy team is so great. This character, you do not choose this character to get kills. That is not the case with this character. This character is not to be chosen to get kills. No, this character is to be chosen to be as a support to your teammates, to able to stop the enemy team, for coming into the objective. It slows them down. Not only that, but it pressures the fuck out of them. You have to understand there are so many certain, even me, when I'm playing against a Clash, I can't do anything. I have to go right near it. And what Clash does is it kind of like backs out. So what she kind of like relies on is your teammate. So when you're slowing them down, the enemy team is really busy with trying to get you, come close to you, and guess what? Your teammate just pops out on the side, bam, shoot them. Like when you play with like Clash might be not winning a lot of games in terms of the data that's given to Rainbow Six Siege, but if you're a really good player, even if you're a bad player, the amount of like pressure you put on the other team is so great. And this is pretty much frequent with a lot of shield players. Like when you come in front of them, you can't do anything, especially with the buff that they've got recently. There are some what is it? A way to prevent from Clash doing it. Yeah, there are like, drawbacks to Clash, but like I said, this character is not for kills. This character is to give pressure to the enemy team, to slow them down, and guess what? She does this job amazingly, and I'm going to personally put her on B tier just because of that. Because every single time I play against this character, I struggle, and it kind of depends on person to person, right? Who plays her. If you're good with shields and if you're good with this game, trust me, you put so much pressure to the point where it annoys the fuck out of me. So, with that being said, I believe this character is strong if you know how to use it. There are a lot of drawbacks to it. Don't expect to get kills with it, but do expect to put a lot of pressure. And sometimes doing that, slowing down the enemy team, is much more greater than getting kills. So it's more about a teamwork, you know what I mean? That's the whole point of this game. If you use this character effectively, trust me, she is really effective. But that depends on how you play. So that's the reason I kind of think she's on a B tier. Personally, I can put her in between B and C, but I can actually even put her as C. Like, I'll put her in C. She's not B tier. I'll put her in C because she does have a lot of drawbacks as well, but she does give a lot of, like, pressure to the enemy team. So I think she belongs there. Next up, let's go. Who should we choose? Ooh, Osa. Let's go with Osa. Just for the Deadass Elite who Ubisoft have released for her, I'm just gonna put on F tier. But Elite fucking sucks, bro. Like, what the bro, like, come on. There's so... Alright, I'm not gonna put her on F tier just for the Elite, okay? But let's just do agree. That Elite fucking sucks. But that being said, I think she is a good tool for the team. She does bring out a lot of abilities, a lot of methods on how to attack how to attack an objective, and also you have to understand it's a great way to deal with enemy team with her. For example, if you're playing bank and if your teammate opens the bank on the backside, the wall, and you put Osa there, that's just like a sight. If your team actually plants the bomb and you have the Osa there, that's it. Game over for the enemy team, because guess what? By the time they come there, you are going to see everything, and you are an advantage on this point. She does have really good plays. She has solid guns as well, like from Jackal's SMG to Thermite's main gun. She is very useful team member in this game, so she's a really useful operator. I will put her on... You see, this is where I'm stuck. I can put her on B or C. I'll put her on C because... Alright, I'm putting her B. She's a good character. She's really strong character in certain positions as well, certain maps and certain places. You just have to know how to play with her and where to place her. And trust me, with communication with your teammates, she's a chef kiss. On to the next one. Goyo. Goyo is debatable. Again, she's exactly like Castle. Exactly what I thought about Castle, Goyo is exactly the fucking same thing. Every single time this character is in my game, we're either in advantage or disadvantage. I'm mostly in disadvantage with this character, man. Like, he's a real high skill player. Like, you have to know what to do with him. But when you have Goyo, he puts his flamables on the door sets on objective, and when you are outside and when you're trying to come in and when the enemy's outside, like inside the objective, they shoot your Goyo. Guess what? I can't get inside the objective. This been the case with so many times, and it's been so annoying, bro. Like, the amount of times I've been put in disadvantage because of Goyo is absolute crazy. Like, I can't push into the objective. I can't go through certain angles because guess what? There's a fire on the floor because Goyo put his gadget there. Like, I'm in disadvantage. And it's so annoying. Like, it shouldn't be happening, obviously. He does have his good uses, obviously. He can slow down the enemy team, or you can even actually, like, when they're planting, if you can do a tricky shot, you can actually, get them with the flame. But a lot of the times, I'm in disadvantage because I can't get into my own objective, or I can't move from my objective because guess what? There's a fire on the floor because Goyo put his trap there, and I'm screwed. So there's a lot of the times I'm more screwed than the enemy teams with Goyo. He is solid. He has Echo on his gun. His gun is really good if you manage to use it, if you're skillful enough. But like I said, it really depends. And a lot of the times I'm on disadvantage. And that's the reason I'm going to put him on E tier. It's annoying to have him on my team. Like, every single damn time I'm in disadvantage. Like, every single time I can't rotate. I can't go through certain places. Because guess what? He put the Goyo trap there. Why? Yeah, this character just triggers me every time I'm seeing him on the thingy. But that's the case. So, moving on to the next operator. Let's see. Ooh, I chose Capitao. Let's go. Capitao. Capitao is interesting, right? He does have a lot of utilities, a lot of ways to play him because his gadget has fire and smoke, and if you're a high skill player, there's a lot of ways to play him. His gun is solid. I love his gun, especially with silencer. It just sounds so good. But you have to understand this character is fun to play and also have a lot of utilities. But is it a good character? It depends. It really does depend because it really depends how you play, how who plays him, and what his skill set is. You can play him as to slow down the enemy team from pushing in. You can play him as to his gadget to push out enemy from a certain angle or certain position. So you can lush him out from a certain, the way he's basically camping in a corner because you got a fire. You can, get him out of there, or you can even put the fire on the bomb where the diffuser is, so the enemy team can't go to the diffuser to defuse the bomb. Still, really a lot of gadgets with this guy. Like you can even actually even use smoke on him. So he is really useful. So I believe I'll put him on B tier as well. I think he deserves a B tier. I think that's a good position for him. On to the next one. You know what? Let's choose Warden. Warden, if you said this a year ago or so when he had his ACOG on his gun, I would say, he's good, bro. He's good. But now, that's debatable. That being said, Warden has really solid gun. MPX is a really solid gun. But his gadget is, like I said, with Knock, it doesn't help the team. It does help the character, the player himself, but it's very situational. That being said, it depends if they're going to use Ying. That, like I said, it's very situational. So you don't get Ying every single match. So who are you going to counter with Warden? So his ability is very limited. If they use Flash, if they use Ying, yes, he is going to be there. But at the same time, I don't feel like people use him for his gadget. His gadget is really useless when it comes to a team play. Yeah, it can help you in certain situations, but that certain situations, how many times are those certain situations going to happen? It's very, 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 very debatable. So that being said, I place Warden on C tier. I think this is solid for him. If he had his ACOG, I'll put him more higher, but I think this is solid where he should stay. Moving on to the next one, we have Blackbeard. Blackbeard it's very sad, right? He's one of the most nerfed operator in this game. You have to understand why, because he was absolutely OP when he came out. Now he is piss take. Not only does he have 20 bullets on his weapon, slow fire rate weapon, let's see, really bad gadget now with him being able to get shot within a second, and him being absolutely like a slug. It takes him 6 years to fucking aim. Okay, this is a little bit exaggeration, but he is a bad character at the moment. He is useless. But there he is getting a work. He's getting a rework, but I'm judging by his current state now. He does have some times where he can save you. A bullet can save you, but is that enough? Is that a good gadget? Not really. So for me, I think he belongs on F tier. He's not a good character. I do use him from time to time. You still can get kills with him, but when you have other useful operators, why would I choose him? It just doesn't make sense. So for that one, he is really bad. But also another bad character, I'm going to go with another bad one, back to back, Senz. Oh boy. This isn't, I kind of personally believe he's not on the, like, bad in terms of my opinion, but he's also bad in terms of every single person that plays this game. With the seasonal reports, with the seasonal data, what Ubisoft kind of puts out is Senz is always low on win. Senz is always low on pick. Senz is low on everything. He is absolutely one of the worst characters in this game. Obviously, with Blackbeard. And the reason for that is because his gadget is useless. His gun is boring. He's not a good character. And his gadget can be useful if your teammate is using glass, but other than that, it's just to block a screen. It's like a curtain. You put a curtain to block the roofs, but guess what? It's not a good character. I'd rather choose somebody else. There's so many other operators that I can use than use her. It's just, nah. It's one of the worst characters, and even the data shows not many people use her, and it's understandable why not many people use her. So she kind of do belong here. Next operator, Thermite. Thermite is a strong candidate for hard breacher. He is one of the first hard breacher, and he is still one of the best ones in the game. It's debatable, right? Some people can say Ace is good, some people say Hibana, but he does have his ups and downs like every single other operator. With that being said, when he opens up a hard breach, he does a massive opening. Unlike Ace, his openings are much more greater than Ace's, but the downside is you have to physically go to that wall and to put it down there. Otherwise, and that kind of puts you in a risk of getting shot. And that is understandable, right? Because it's like a risk factor. But I personally believe he is really a good character. He is a really good character in terms of being able to open up doors if they're not obviously put electrical behind it. Not only that, but you can actually open reinforced walls without needing Thatcher or any other else, depending on the situation. All right. So, for example, if I say there's a L-shaped wall there, so let's say this crippled hand is the electrical wall, and this one is another wall on the side. If I put the charge here, which is not electrified, guess what? I can still destroy the other side of the wall because the breaching is so high. So I don't have to physically put the breaching charge on the wall where I need to open it. I can just put it right on the side and I can still open that hatch of the wall. And that is absolutely useful if we don't have any, like a Thatcher or anybody else without EMP. And for me, that is a good way. Personally, for me, every single opener, guys, deserves to be S tier because they deserve because there are certain angles that you open that you need to open to go through to be able to get that objective. Otherwise, you're fucked. For example, theme park. If you do not open the sides, you're screwed up because the only way you can enter is from two doors, one from one side, from this. I'm talking about Armory, by the way. You can either enter from one door or from one door on the other side, and guess what? They're going to be defended like hell unless you make an opening on one side of the wall, and guess what? Puts them in disadvantage. So this is the reason I kind of believe Thermite, Ace, and other ones all deserve to be on S tier, but I'm just gonna go for A tier for Thermite, and Thermite does deserve to be on this tier list on a high note. I can put him on S tier as well. His guns are solid. He's a solid operator. I love him still. And let's talk about when we're talking about hard breacher, let's go for Ace as well, right? Where is he? So let's go for Ace. Ace is also another character that he totally deserves to be A. And guess what? I think I'm gonna put them on. I'm gonna change them up. Thermite, Ace, they both belong in S tier. Now, like I said, the reasoning is because without these characters, we wouldn't have the opening that we need. These openings are so crucial for certain maps. So for certain maps, it's so crucial to have either Thermite or Ace just before their gadget. You need to open up that thingy. Thermite can open a bigger hole either from the wall itself or from the other side, or Ace. You can actually do it from further away. Not only that, but Ace can also counter mirror as well, because you can throw his Ace, you can destroy the mirror from further place, so you don't have to danger yourself. So this is the reason I believe these two characters belong S, and you have to understand Ace has solid guns. Ace's gun is one of the best ones in the game. AK-12 is such an iconic and good gun in this game. The fire rate, the recoil, perfection. It's perfection. Perfect. So these two hard breachers deserves to be S tier, just for their tools, just for what they bring to the team, because you have to understand, without them, you can't win certain maps. And these are crucial operators to have in certain maps. For example, Chalet. If you're playing Chalet, you can push through the back when they're playing the garage, but guess what? You're opening the front side of the garage. It's also crucial. Like I said, these two characters are crucial to your game. Just like Thermite. Thermite kind of like... I'm going to put Thermite on A tier because Thermite can be really crucial as well to your team, and you really need them. You really need them, but then again, Thermite is a bit questionable because of Bandit tricking. If there's a Bandit tricking, he kind of like deserves to be on the B tier. So I'll put Thermite between B and A, but I'm just going to put him on A tier right now. These are crucial operators to have on certain maps. Moving on. Mozzie! Mozzie is look, this is a personal, right? So personally, I do not like Mozzie. And the reason I do not like Mozzie is not because of his gadget. His gadget is solid. Like I do love, it depends how many how many drones you capture. The more drones you capture, the more beneficial it's gonna have to your team because information is key in this game. But you have to understand, I do not like his guns. I do not like Mozzie's guns at all. Both of them. The other one, yeah, it has a really fast fire rate, but only 19 bullets. And the other one, it just doesn't look or sound good. I don't know. It's not as satisfying to use his guns. His gadget, he will give a lot of detail to enemy team. Enemy team? No, to our team. Jesus Christ. To our team, he will be very beneficial once he captures the drones, but I personally do not like him. I don't like him because of his guns. And for that reason, I'm just gonna put him on. I'm gonna put him on C tier. Like I said, I personally do not like his guns. He's gonna be more solid for other team, like for some other people who loves to play as him. But for me personally, not for me, bro. Like he's not a fun character to play as, and for me personally, how many times am I gonna say that? Because I know somebody's gonna be out there. How dare you put him on the fucking C tier? He belongs on A. But guess what? I don't care. I'm gonna put him on C because that's my opinion. Let's go. But like moving on again, Maestro. Should I just put Maestro on C tier just for his leaked elite, which animations look fucking amazing? Perfect. But even though being said that, Maestro does deserve to be on. I'm gonna put him on A tier. Actually, I'm gonna put him on B. It's just between B and A because the reason I want to put him on there is because he's very informant operator. Not only it's useful for you as a player, but also really useful for your team for information, for all types of stuff. For example, you can place him on certain places and map. You can cheese it out where it's really hard reach for the enemy team to get it because they have to smash it with they have to get close to it to smash it unless they have Ash, obviously. But what this character provides is not only information, but also preventing from other people to push in. It kind of slows down the operators. Also, depending on where you position your stuff, you can actually even prevent from enemy team from planting the bomb. And that is amazing. It's basically just slowing them down as much as you can. And that's the point of this character. He also has solid weapon. His machine gun is solid. Not the best, but it is a solid gun, a lot of bullets, so he does bring a lot to the table. His secondary also like a mini shotgun revolver, so that's actually positive too. Negative side of this character is obviously his gadgets can be shot, but like I said, he brings a lot to the table, to the team. He's useful, and I think A is suitable for this character as an operator, and I do need to use him a lot more. I don't use him a lot, which is surprising, and he is useful, so it needs to be something that looks after. Tachonka, the Lord and Savior, a comrade in distress because this character can't seem to be popular. Like, alright, with the memes and stuff, he used to be, but other than that, he kind of disappeared, right? With all the data coming out with seasonal, he's still really low picked and he's not winning much games. He's not doing good. But he does have his uses. His gadget is still useless for me personally. It can slow them down, but it's not as effective. I'd rather use another operator to slow down and slow down the operators. But does he deserve to be on E or D? E or D? I'll put him on D. You can still be useful. You can still slow down an enemy team. Depends how you use them. Especially if they're used in shields, you can actually, use his ability to, to block off the shield. So if, let's say, Montaigne is stuck in one corner and he's waiting there, you could just shoot that fire and, yeah, he's going to be panicking. The shield will be panicking. But in terms of that, he does have ACOG on that gun, which Capcom has, which is really useful. I don't use his main gun, the machine gun, because it's really slow. but then again, it's just, is he useful for the team? Is he a team player? No, no. He's still weak, so even the rework didn't really help him out much. Let's just go for the next operator, right? So, moving on. Pulse. Pulse is deadly. It depends on the person who uses it, right? So, if he's a high skill player and if he knows what they're doing, especially when an objective is covered with wood flooring, guess what? You're going to have a pulse there to screw your day up, because this character is damn strong character to use while defending. Because come on, it's basically like a heartbeat sensor from Modern Warfare 2. Being able to see enemies like through the walls is a powerful tool to have. That's one. Also, his C4 tool with what I just said now, wooden floor, C4. It's easy kill, man. Every single time if like a high skill player, there's gonna be like pulse playing, especially depending on the situation or the map and whatnot. He is really useful character. His other weapon, UMP45, no recoil, it's still good. He has ACOG. He's a very solid character to have. I would never ever like. He is really useful, especially when they plant in a bomb. But then again, he's playing outside the objective. How much is he useful? It's debatable, right? I'm not gonna put him on A tier. He belongs on between C and B, but like if you're really skillful, if you know what you're doing, this character will go for B. But if you're like low skill and you're trying to play with him, he'll go C. So I'll give him on C tier, but I do believe he kind of blows on B tier as well. He's not bad, but he's not the best either. Like I said, really situational, map situational, person situational. Depends how you use it, but he is a still solid operator. Amaro. Oh my god, brother, let's go. Kamikaze. We love Kamikaze. We always call this character Kamikaze because you just go into the objective, right? Because when you're on the last round, when it's 4-4, on the last round you're going to lose, you need to risk it for the biscuit, and you get Amaro. Look, this character is such a good troll character. It's fun to play, like, you know, to swing inside and suddenly just start shooting the enemy team, like going in there like a Rambo. It's fun character, but in terms of usefulness to the friendly team, it's down. I'm sorry, but it's not really useful character for your team, as in overall it's very solo type player game. And like I said, with the other characters, this is a very team-based game. And very team-based game means it needs to be played with team. And this character is not that good. So I'm just going to go for A tier for E for this one. Not a strong character, good weapon. But yeah, let's speed this up. Mute. Mute is definitely going on really high tier. Because when you're playing on high skill set with people, they tend to drone out more in comparison to low tier people. Because blocking out all the communication, all the extra information is crucial. Like really, really crucial to get the drones out. That you do not want any enemy drones in. But not only that, it kind of also blocks out, you know, enemy gadgets as well. So he's really useful. I'm gonna put him on C S tier. Yeah, he's perfect. He's a perfect character. Good weapons as well, and good gadgets. He belongs there. Let's speed this up. Smoke. Smoke is... I haven't seen Smoke much lately, to be honest, in my ranked games. He can slow down enemies, he can, you know, get them, but I wouldn't put him on really good tier. I'll put him on... It's very situational, right? Like, you can slow down the enemy team to coming in, but I'm going to put him on D tier. He's not perfect. Like, he's been weak operator, to be honest, and it kind of shows because not many people are choosing him. He can be strong. Okay, let's put him on C tier. He's not a bad character, but he's also not the best character. Let's just say that. He's not good, he's not bad, he's just mid. He's just there. So let's just put it that way. Let's go with Montaigne. Montaigne is, oh my god, like this character is debatable. debatable because he's annoying. He's pain in the fucking ass. After this new update, like, I absolutely hate going against shields. I can't counter them. No matter what you do, they come near you. You have no absolute way to counter them. There is no way. You're fucking dead. He's annoyance to the other team. He is annoying as fuck to deal with. You throw C4, guess what? He's not gonna die. He's gonna put his shield up. You throw impact grenades, guess what? Impact grenades are nerfed, so they're not gonna do much damage to him. He comes near you, guess what? You can't stab him like before. You used to melee and his shield used to go to the side and you could able to have some little like sight. So now you're dead. You're dead meat. Like, you go near this operator, you're fucking dead. Like, you have to be. The thing is, I suck with shield operators. I really, really, really do suck with shield operators. So, but when I'm against them, they're so annoying. Like, if I don't have a teammate helping me out, I can't defeat Montaigne, and he's a really solid character now. With this update, they need to nerf these shield operators. Like, they need to nerf the fuck out of him, man. He's so annoying. He's gonna go for A tier. Not only because he's buffed and he's really good now, but also being able to push into the objective and being able to plant the bomb and whatnot. With good coordinating teammate, this character is amazing. He's perfect. He's perfect character for this. Oh damn, like, how many minutes I've been recording this and still I'm like not even damn close to the fucking thing. Like, there's still more operators, but like I said, this will take longer than usual. Next operator is Buck. Buck is debatable. Every single one of them is debatable. Why am I saying debatable all the time? I don't know. But Buck is very, like I said, I'm going back to what I said before. What does Buck bring to the team compared to other operators? Buck is a very solo type player, right? He does have uses though, like in terms of smashing. If there is a wooden floor on the bottom, like on the top, you can shoot the wooden top floor to make some, like, some sightseeing, some angles. You can open up walls easily without sacrificing yourself, like Sledge, where you have to open the wall, and by the time you bring out your gun, it will take 6 years for him to bring out his gun. But Buck can do it instantaneously. Like, he could just open a wall easily, just switch to his main gun and bam, shoot. Easy, fast. He's basically a Sledge, but with a shotgun. So that kind of makes sense. His weapon is really powerful. His weapon is, when you get hit by that gun, it hits like a truck. You get hit by a fucking truck. His gun is very solid. He's a solid operator, but he's not the best. Like, there are other operators to choose that will bring more positives to the team. I'll bring him on C tier. I'll bring him on C tier because, like I said, it's very single type operator. He does have his uses, but he's still not the best. I would rather choose other operators to go in with than using Buck, to be honest. He's still a fun operator to use, but yeah, that's what I think, where he belongs. When I'm done with this one, I'm going to go back and see if I can move him, but it's very situational. Zero. Zero is situational as well, but he also gives a lot of information to the team. Not only that, but he can counter mirror. He can counter other, if there is some sort of bandit doing his bandit trick, you can, if you manage to shoot his gadget to the other side and get an angle, you can actually destroy one of his gadgets, and that will kind of get you in, right? But like I said, he can also destroy mirror. If you can able to shoot from the other side, you can shoot a canister. But the main thing about this character is information. He can give good amount of information, and not only for one place to two places. So when you shoot one wall, you can see other side of the wall, but you can see also on this side of the wall. So it gives a lot of like good information to the team. And his gun is really solid. His gun has absolute 0-0 recoil. His gun is amazing. Good fire rate, good recoil. He is a really good character, so I'm gonna put him on A tier. He's really useful for your team and for yourself. So he's solid. Moving on. Let's see. Who should we choose? We should go for Vigil. Vigil is... I see him a lot of the times in my games. He's a solid character. Not only that, but for Roman, because of his, gadget. Yeah, his gadget will give away that he's Roman, because when you're on a drone, you kind of see like lines and stuff, but you have no idea where he is because he's using his gadget. And that is a useful tool to roam around and not to be spotted, unless other enemy team has Jackal, for example. But he is a solid character. His guns are really solid. A lot of people using a Boss G now. Like it's buffed. He can get you down in one shot, and yeah, that gun is menace. Especially if you're a high skill set player. Trust me, this gun will melt you down. He's good. In terms of positioning, I will put Vigil on B tier, and that is because it's very... he's good. His gadget is good, but like I said, it really depends on a person. It's not my favorite operator in the game because I like to roam, but I like to use other stuff to help the other team out. I guess I love to, because it's a team play, man. Come on, you can't just think about yourself. You have to think about what opportunities they bring to your teams as well. And Vigil, like I said, I placed them on B. B is not bad. B is good. A is great. B is good. So he's a good character. And C is good as well. It's okay, but it's not bad. So I say D is bad, badish. Let's go for Cade. Let's go for Cade now. Cade is a solid character. Yeah, he is a solid character because he is able to stop enemy team from breaching, from the hard breaching points. But you have to be really clever with this character, because with this character, with cheekiness, you can actually place his gadgets to the certain locations on certain maps to the point where even EMP won't be able to get your gadget. He is solid character, solid guns. He deserves to be in high grade because he is a good character to stop the enemy team. You have to understand, the more you slow down, the more you protect those walls, like the breaching points, the more easier time you're gonna have, because it's gonna give a hard time to your enemy team. So there is that. I need to drink some water. Damn, I've been talking a lot. I need some water, boy. I haven't spoken this long in a while. My mouth is going dry as fuck. But hey, this isn't like thing. There's a lot of operators. Moving on to the next one, Lion. Lion is a solid character. I absolutely love his gun. His gun is solid, especially when you put silencer on. I absolutely love putting silencer onto that gun. It's like firing like little pellet guns. I just love it, man. I love his gun. I love the character. I love his ability, because his ability really does help with catching roamers. Not always, of course, but it really is solid character, especially when you plant a bomb and you use his gadget. Guess what? The enemy team is not going to be able to move because, yeah, you will see where they are, and it really does put them under pressure big time. So this is an absolute useful character, not for your only for yourself, but for your team, and it's absolute team play character. And I do believe he belongs to A tier. There are times where you can counter him, obviously, but like I said, solid character to reveal where the Romans are. Moving on, Dokkaebi. Dokkaebi is questionable, right? Because she did get nerfed recently. Do you call that nerf? Yeah, it's kind of a bit of nerf. She's not as good as used to be, but she is still crucial to your players and to your team, because she's really good at giving information out. Not only by, obviously ringing the phone, it reveals where, if there's enemy team near you, it gives you that sound clue, right? But she also can give you access to every single camera that is in the game, even the gadgets the defending team has, and that is crucial element to your team. So whenever somebody chooses Dokkaebi in the team, I'm grateful. I'm not mad. I love it, because if she can get access to those cameras, It's absolutely solid. Absolute solid, because that will give us a lot of information to the point where we might be able to, win the game. That's how much crucial this character is for me and for my teammate. So far, this is the situation with the chart. So I think she belongs to. Why is she on the E side? She's gonna go for A. She's crucial. She can even go for S tier, to be honest, because of the amount of detail she can give. But like I said, for me personally, she goes for A because I do not like her guns. I do not enjoy using a DM. I'm not good with DMRs. I'm not good with a secondary gun. I don't know. Her guns kind of brings it down for me, but she's a really solid character, and yeah, she kind of deserves it. Legion. Legion is a solid character. I'm not even going to debate it. He's good with giving clues where the enemies are. Even if enemies are like got into the trap, sound clues and everything gets the health down a little bit, but it is sound clue. It kind of like slows them down. He's a solid character, so he's gonna go for S tier for me. He is a S tier because he has solid guns, solid gadget, which kind of slows down the enemy team and also like reveals their position in a way. Up to next, let's go for Nomad. Nomad is the type of it's a character, it's an operator I barely used. I do not like her, but she's absolutely solid when used properly. She can give away where basically block out the blockage, like let's say a corridor, you put the gadget, you throw it, and guess what? If there is a roam mod, there's a cheeky roam mod, they can't go through certain places because you put your gadget, they'll be swung by, and you'll basically save your ass. And this character is really good for roaming. She's gonna for me. It's just I don't like her. I don't like using her. She belongs in an A. I'm gonna put her in B section. She's not the best operator, but she is a solid operator. She is still good, and I think she deserves to be on B. Moving on, Mira. Mira is S tier. Mira, you can't debate this. Yeah, she has a lot of drawbacks to her gadget as well. If you think about it, like for example, anything can destroy her. If somebody comes close to it, they can destroy her. Ash breaching charges, destroy her. Twitch, destroy her gadget. It basically, a lot of stuff can be used to destroy her gadget, but her gadget is absolutely crucial for some maps to be able to win. Her gadget is very strong in certain maps to the point where a lot of people ban her on those maps because they know if they get chosen, if Mira gets put on that fucking certain location on the map, there is a big advantage to the defending team. Like, as in, when somebody comes in, there's a mirror. Guess what? One peek, boop, and you shoot the enemy team. It's really easy. She's really powerful, especially when she's used correctly. And yeah, she belongs on the S tier, and she's crucial for some maps. And if she's not get chosen, you're gonna have a hard time with her. Also, her weapons are really, 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 really good. I love her Vector. Yeah, a lot of recoil, really fast fire rate, but damn, it fucking kicks, and it's really good. I love her gun, so she's a solid character. Hibana! Hibana is another operator that's been overshadowed by Ace, I believe. Before Ace came out, she was one operator to go for if you wanted to do a hard breach from further away. But since Ace came into the play, she's become a little bit useless, if that makes sense. Because why would you choose her when you can choose Ace? When they both do the same thing, but Ace has better weapons? Yeah, if you understand, her weapon only has 23 like 23 bullets in a gun, in a mag, and Ace has 30. Ace's weapon is better. So in this situation, what would I choose? Would I choose Hibana or should I choose Ace? I would definitely choose Ace. So that's the reason her role as a hard breacher kind of goes down to B now, and that mainly drops to a weapon, and her hard breaching gadget is being slow. By the time you shoot on the wall and by the time you activate it, there's going to be bandit trick just going to be like, bandit trick just going to destroy you, and that's not good. So her role as a hard breacher just went down, but she's still a solid character, but she's not as good as she used to be. So that's that. Next on the line, Oroxy. Oroxy is, look, with the buff that came to shields, Oroxy is one of your best options to use against Montaigne. He is a solid character, he has solid gun, but like I said, it's situational, right? Because at the end of the day, if you have an enemy team that did not choose shield and you choose this character, it's a bit useless. But when it comes to 1v1 with Montaigne or another shield operator, this character is solid. And he's crucial for your team when there is they really love to play shield operators. I'm just gonna go for B tier for this one. He's crucial, but like I said, it's situational. He's not a bad character, but he is a character that's needed when he is needed. And that's when you see if they're using Montaigne a lot, that's a character to choose. So he's solid. And we're gonna go with that one. Next operator is, let's go for Ram. Let's go for Ram. Ram is absolutely solid operator, and she became very annoyance. Like certain maps, she's absolutely useful, especially with maps that has a lot of wooden flooring. For example, Chalet is a good example for that one. When you're using a garage, yeah, they're gonna open the fuck out of the top floor, and that kind of gives you a big advantage on sites. So she is powerful, and I'm gonna go for A for her. She also has one of the good guns. She does have Ash's main gun. Yeah, a lot of people love her. Only thing that's dropping her down is her speed, her operator speed, which is slow. That's the reason. She's A tier. She's an amazing character, and she does have a big role when playing against, certain objectives. But moving on. Jesus Christ, how long have I been? This video is going to be 1 hour long, man. Jesus Christ, like, it's taking forever. Next on the line, Doc. Doc is going on A. Nope, Doc is going on S tier. The reason why Doc is going on S tier is he has solid guns. He has the MP5 with ACOG. He has P90, which I absolutely love. That's one of my main guns to use. But not only that, he can heal yourself. He can heal your teammates to the full capacity of health, even more than full capacity. He is so useful as long as he's alive. That's what makes him different between Thunderbird and him, is because he is only useful when he's alive, but when he is alive, he is crucial to your team because that extra health is going to be giving you a lot of boost in health. That's the reason he's top tier. But not only that, not only his gadget, but his weapons, that's what makes him top tier. He's slow operator, but his weapons are absolute amazing. ACOG, high skill players, go for this character. And trust me, it makes sense. Jaeger. Jaeger hasn't been really solid operator since his ACOG got removed and his weapon got nerfed. I feel like his weapon has a lot of recoil compared to other operators, and it kind of brings him down. His gadget is still useful. Like, it does stop projectiles, especially, on that terms, but he's not as strong as he used to be. I don't see a lot of, like, the pick rate even for him is so low at the moment. Like, I don't really see much of Jaeger lately. But he's still okay operator. I'll say he's, to stop the projectiles, he's still solid, but he's going for C tier in terms of helpness and usefulness of this operator. But he's not as strong and his weapon is not as good as before. But yeah, if you said Jaeger like a long time ago, I would have said, yeah, this character is just the best character, but not anymore. Not anymore. Moving on. Rook. Rook is solid. So I'm going to put him on S tier again. These are type of operators that give you many opportunities and also give you an advantage over your team. Not only does Rook increase your health, he also gives you ability to self-revive. So if my teammate, for example, there's so many situations where I put my Rook armor, my teammate gets it, they get taken down, I don't have to risk myself to go to that teammate to revive him because he can revive himself with my ability with the Rook Plate. And that is one of the best situational time that you can ever get. I don't have to risk myself to get my teammate up. And so many situations there has been where my teammate has revived himself and kind of like got the kill back, and it puts us in advantage. You will never ever 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 go wrong in picking Rook as an operator. Like every single time he's get chosen, he's S tier. The amount of advantages he gives over on the enemy team is so much great, and he's such a team player. It's crucial team player operator. So he's never ever going to be bad choice every time he's being picked. On the plus side, he has such cool guns. Just as a doc, he has, the same guns, MP5 with ACOG, P90 with ACOG, and guess what? He also has impact grenades. So it makes him a really solid character for team play and for solo play. Bandit. Bandit is really, really, really strong as well. Bandit is crucial for certain locations, certain maps. You really do need a bandit. And if you have a bandit tricker, yeah, you are going to put a lot of effort into not losing to that team, because guess what? He's crucial. For a team, if they choose Thatcher, they will not go through you. Only way they are going to go through you is if they are basically choosing a different, if they're choosing a way to destroy your gadgets. So this is the reason bandit tricking is so crucial for certain locations, to the point where it's necessity. You need this character. So this is the reason he's S tier. And that's if you are able to do the bandit trick. Why is my video so bright? Bro, the weather is so weird. It's like so dark bright, start bright. So my camera's going nuts. But anyways, moving on that one. Bandit with bandit trick is S tier. It makes like operators like bandit, like Thatcher, what is it? The hard breaching operators, Thermite, useless. Like he's too fucking strong unless you have to get him away from there. So bandit trick, he's really, really powerful. So this season he's been top tier in terms of defending the location, and his gun is really amazing as well. So you also have C4. So that's another point. Fenrir. Fenrir is a type of character that he is annoying. He is an absolute annoying character to deal with. He's not OP, don't get me wrong. He's not OP. The reason he's high ban rate is not because he's good, it's because he's annoying. And video's getting all bright again. Jesus. Like, come on. Yeah, this is going to change. The sun coming out and all that. So just keep going up and down. But talking about Fenrir, like I said, he's not OP character. He's just annoying to deal with. That's the reason a lot of people ban him. And his ban rate is so high to the point where I kind of forgot like how strong this character is, because I don't see him on matches because he's keep getting banned. And rightly so, because he's so annoying. His gadget kind of helps to prevent from team to push in straight away, and it kind of gives you advantage because they are blind as fuck. They can't push through that, and they have to find where the gadget is. If you're cheeky enough and you put that gadget to a certain location, and they have to turn around to get the gadget, it puts them in so much disadvantage to the point where you can kill them straight away. That's the reason they're so annoying. As an operator though, I am going to place him on A tier. He's a solid character. He's not OP, like I said, but he is really annoying to deal with. And I hate when there's a Fenrir on the other team, if I'm being honest. Let's go. Ela. Ela used to be OP, right? Do you remember the time where Ela used to, like, literally rule the Rainbow Six Siege because her gun was so powerful? Her weapon was so powerful to the point where they nerfed the fuck out of her. There was a point where you couldn't even use her weapons because they nerfed her so much to the point where there was so much recoil, and it was so annoying to deal with. But as a character, she's still solid, but she's not as good as she used to be. Her gadget's okay. It kind of gives you awareness, but I'm going to put her in a D section. She's not as powerful anymore, and she's not as useful as before. So there is that. Moving on to our next thingy, operator. Let's go for Maverick. Maverick is a crucial operator for now for bandit tricking, because you can be able to do, especially if you're playing with a teammate, where you can actually do Maverick and Glass trick. But then again, it's very situational. It's still a solid character. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It does have its times, ups and downs. You can get rid of bandit tricking easily for this one, so I'm gonna put him on B section because he is a solid character. He's not a bad character, but he's also not the best. Moving on, recruit F tier. Sorry about this new recruits reworks. They absolutely suck, bro. Like, you have to understand, not only do they have, it's just the originality, the way they look, it's just, screw that. Yeah, they look horrible now, but they don't bring much to the table. Like, why would I choose this character when I can choose somebody else on the list here? Like, there's so many good operators to choose from. Like, why the fuck would I choose this character? But you also have to understand the iconic dressing of Rook. What made it iconic? It's just gone. They just made it. The only reason they released Rook as an operator was just so they can monetize the fuck out of it, so they can put skins on him to make extra money. I feel like Rook brings nothing. Recruit brings nothing. Recruit brings nothing additional to this game. I'm sorry, but you choosing Recruit is more disadvantage than advantage. So that's what he's gonna go on F tier. And also this same thing goes for his defending team is better, but still the weapon sucks, the operator sucks. You'll be much more better choosing somebody else than choosing these two characters. So they both belong in F tier. They're bad, and I wouldn't be surprised because their pick rates are also low, and I'm not surprised. They're not good. But moving on, let's go for Demios. Demios is a solid character. He does have his ups and downs. I wouldn't put him on low tier, but he's basically C tier. He's very situational, right? It depends on who uses him and how you use him. He can be very powerful, but you have to remember, when you're using his gadget, you're using his pistol only. I'm so bright again, bro. Like, what the fuck? And this is too dark. Alright. Moving on. Yeah, I'd say Demios belongs on C tier, and that's where he is belonging. He does have a solid gun, solid character, but he's not as good. So, there's that. Glaz. I love using Glaz on certain maps. For example, I love using it for kitchen in coastlines. I love using it in certain, but he's not a type of operator that you can use on every single map. And personally, I think he belongs on E tier. He's not solid character. I'm sorry, but there are other better characters to choose from than using Glaz, and there's only 2 maps that I can use him on, and that's on Bank and basically Coastline, and on certain location where they play. It's very limiting, and he's still not the best character. They tried to buff him, they tried to change him, rework him, but it kind of didn't work really. So yeah, he belongs there. He's not the best character, but it's what we do. Ash. Ash is... The thing is, Ash has solid weapons. Ash has solid gadget in terms of taking out mirror. But is he a team play character? No. It's a type of character where he has a really low... Do you remember the memes where his head basically, trajectory basically, to shoot is really low to the point where it's so hard to shoot her from the headshot? She's really fast character. She's really good in like just going like a Rambo and just start shooting people, and really high skill set. People use her because of her weapon. You know, her weapon's a really good weapon. Even though she doesn't bring a lot to the team, she does have it to users, and she's... You see, this is where a lot of people are going to disagree. She kind of deserves to be S tier. She kind of deserves to be A tier. I can put her in S tier because she's solid character, solid operator, but she also doesn't have the best gadget in the world. She is solid character, but I'm gonna put her in A tier. She is solid, but she's not an amazing. She's not crucial to the team. If you, the only time where she's crucial is if there's a mirror on the other team. But other than that, she's not. She's not going to be type of operator where if my teammate doesn't choose, we're going to lose. No, she's not crucial to the team. If my teammate chooses, I'm not going to be mad. She's still a solid character, but it's not a crucial team play operator, if that makes sense. Solid guns, but that's about it. Kapkan. Kapkan is... it's just... It depends, right? It depends. Like, it's all dependable. Because if other team has Bravo right now, they'll get him. But if he doesn't, if they don't have Bravo, it's just, if he's spotted, it's really easy to spot his gadgets. But there is still slim chances that you can get a kill, unexpected kills. If the enemy team is clueless and they don't really drone in or search what's going on. So I left him on the B tier, but I think he belongs in the B tier. He's not as solid as he can drop to C tier as well. Like I said, with seasonal data, what Rainbow Six Siege brings out, with console play, Kapkan is much more stronger than how he is on PC. A lot more people basically, I feel like PC players have more awareness, so that's the reason he's not as problematic. But on console, for certain people, he's more problematic because in console they love to just go in and rush and just try to get more kills than play the game sensibly, I guess. But yeah, he belongs on a B. He's not the best character, but he's still a good character to slow down an enemy and get them by surprise if he can. And that kind of depends on how many traps you put in one door, right? And depends if there's a Bravo in the team, because Bravo can hack his gadgets and it can be useless for your own team. And we're talking about Bravo. Why not? Let's go for Bravo. So Bravo is a solid character as well. She is annoying. She can hack every single gadget there is in the game in terms of electronic, like cameras, what do you say, like Kapkan traps, Maestro's cams, everything. So she's crucial for the team when she's being chosen. My only problem with her is by the time I'm done with hacking, the game doesn't have much time, especially when you're playing ranked. You do not have much time to, just to hack. So it's very situational. She is still really effective character to use. So I am going to put her on B tier because of the way she's being used, the way she can hack gadgets, useful gadgets, like crucial gadgets like cameras for more information, and obviously cam traps, which can result in death. So she's useful. Moving on! Jesus Christ, like, so many operators to go through. Like, this video is going to be more than an hour, and nobody's going to watch. Fuck. Caveira. Caveira is useful. Should I just rush this now? Not explain why, but she's going to go for 8. She's going to go for A tier because if somebody's interrogated, that's it. Your whole team's positions are revealed, and she is solid. Her gun's solid, her shotgun's solid, and if you're like Romo, she's your worst nightmare. Let's speed this up, right? Solis. Solis for me after this update. Not really. She's crap now. She's gonna go for D tier. As you know, she's been really, nerfed to the ground, to be honest. Her gun is solid, but still, it's good to spot out any extra drones out there, but she's not good anymore. She's gone down. Ying is a solid character. She has really good gun. Her gadget is so annoying as fuck to deal with because unless you have Warden, you're gonna have a hard time when her gadgets keep coming in. Like, you are blind as fuck. She's a really good character to just push in without, being seen. But yeah, she's a solid character, and I say let's put her on A tier. She's on A tier. She deserves to be A tier. Let's go for Alibi. Alibi is questionable. Questionable because I haven't seen a solid gameplay by her in a long time, and her pick rate is really small as well. In terms of effectiveness of her as a gadget, of course, she can fool people. People will shoot and ping where they are, but is she as powerful as she is? No, she's not. I believe she's on D tier. She's not as effective. If my teammate gets her, it's not a bad thing, but it's also not going to be as helpful as other operators. Like, there's so many operators, there's so many to choose from, to the point where sometimes not choosing them are you get to be in more disadvantage than being an advantage. Jackal. Jackal is a solid character. I think he's going to be good on the A side. And the reason why he's really solid is roamers, man. This guy can track down people, whoever, you can see when they've been there and all that kind of stuff. He's really solid at tracking people down, and he's basically a nightmare to the enemy team, especially if you're on roaming, because you're going to be pinged. And his ping is so strong to the point where I feel like they need to nerf him to the point where a character can be, pinged only once, because as soon as you're pinged that, or as soon as you're being pinned, he can ping you again and with the same fucking footsteps, to the point where it's so annoying. His weapons are solid, and also you have to talk about that. His weapons, both of them are really solid. He's a solid operator, and he deserves to be on an A tier. He's really solid, but he's really annoying to deal with, especially like if you're defending. But that's the whole point of the character, and that's the reason he's getting banned a lot. Not much left now. Echo is also a solid character. It's situational. He is situational because it depends on your skill set. Because he can be really powerful to block out other people. For example, if somebody's planting a bomb, guess what? If you have Echo, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time, because he will be able to stop you from planting. And when the timing is correct, guess what he's gonna do? One thing I don't like about Echo is his weapon. I don't know why, but it feels so weak to shoot, and he is weak. Because if you think about it, with other weapons, like they're, as in, obviously headshot is a key right here, right? As long as you get a headshot, it's all good. But his weapon is weak. Personally, I do not like using him. But he is a solid character. He belongs in A tier. He's an A tier. He's a good character, especially on defending when they're planting. Yeah, you're gonna have a hard time against him. This character, yeah, but I forgot her name. Iana? Yeah, Iana. Why do I forget the names? Iana is a solid character as well. It can reveal enemies' locations. Like, you can actually scout the location, the enemy team, without risking yourself or without risking a drone, whatnot. She is solid, but she's not the best in my opinion. She kind of belongs in a B to C tier, if I'm being honest. So, sure, right? Should I place her in? I think B is good for her, but she kind of belongs on it. It's like in a border between B and C, but I'm going to put her on C. The reason why C is because her gadget is strong to see where enemy is, but as soon as they see that you're a hologram, they just going to move places, and that's it. You're not going to be scouting again. So it can have her uses, but she's in a C tier, man. Like, she doesn't deserve to be any higher. But moving on from that one, Fawn. Fawn is a good character. Not only does she can get people by surprise, but it can slow down the enemy team as well. But it can also kill people. A lot of times, yeah, you're not going to get kills all the time, but you do get kills with Fawn. Especially, it depends on how well you place a gadget. With that being said, she's going to go for A tier. She's not as solid, but A tier is perfect for her. Blitz, like again, with these new updates on shields, such an annoying character to deal with, man. It's such an annoying character to deal with, and he gets banned all the time. It kind of depends on skill set, the person playing it. I'm really shit with shield, so I can't really play with him. But when I'm against him, it's a headache. So I'm gonna put him on B tier. I feel like Montaigne is much more higher. He's more useful, but Blitz, yeah, he's to be reckoned with. Like he is really a strong character, and when you're against him 1v1, you're definitely 99% of the chance you're gonna die. That's my case. So situational, like I said, but that is the case here. Twitch is very. You know what? If you're very high skill set, Twitch is for you. Twitch is gonna be so high, damn high. I can't use Twitch. Her gun has a lot of recoil. Her gun has low ammunition, but her gun is powerful. Like once it hits, it's the fire rate with that one it outmatches with any other gun, like AK-12. Her gadget is really strong as well. You will get a decent good amount of damage to enemies' gadgets to clear out the site. But I feel like her use with has been lowered with other operators coming out. Like there's high chances of her gadgets getting shot before she destroys a gadget itself. Like for example, Mirror, she's really useful. But other than that, if you have a high skill set, she's amazing. And with nerfs to her gun, she's been going down a bit. So I'm gonna put her in a B. But yeah, that's about it. IQ, she's been now. IQ's for me is useless. Like her gadget's absolutely useless. Like I can just do the scouting with my drone. But with this new operator with the crippled one, the one with the robots, what was her name? Scorpios or something? It's a good way to detect where she is, but still for me, she's still low tier. She's still a low tier operator for me, to be honest. Like she's not as useful and situational, maybe, but no, her gadget's not useful anymore. I'm sorry, but I would rather use somebody else. Azami, is this Azami? Yeah, the one with a wall shield. She's powerful. I'm not even gonna deny it. She's gonna go on A tier because there's a lot of good operators. Like, I believe that she's solid operators because, for example, in Chalet, if you put her gadget, the wall on the staircase, you have a like a advantage where you get to see the enemy team's feet before they even see you. It puts them in really big disadvantage. She is crucial for some sort of you know what? She's even gonna go for S tier. She is gonna go for S tier because she is crucial for some locations where when you put her, you will have so much advantage to the point where enemy team will actually struggle big time entering the entering the objective. And you're gonna have a peaks where you will see the enemy team and they will not see you. And that's the reason she is going to be on S tier. And they try to nerf her where enemy team can shoot her wall to destroy it, but then again, not many people doing that because one, it makes a lot of noise, and two, you are in disadvantage because you getting rid of all your ammunition. So there is that. Not long left. Let's use this one. I forgot this guy's name, man. Jeez. It's the one with the bees where you can spot people. He's weak. He's not really good. I'm just gonna put him an E. Yeah, you can kind of protect yourself from roamers from certain angles, but he's still not as useful. You can use other operators like Lion. I'd rather use Lion than him because that kind of really stops them. Or you can use other operators to, like Dokebi to see if somebody's roaming. So he does slow down operators pushing in, but he's still not useful. Zofia. Zofia is. I'm gonna put Zofia on F. Zofia used to be really fucking good operator until they nerfed the fuck out of her guns. Her guns are so useless. It came to the point where basically you have to think about it. It came to the point where Zofia's gun were so bad to the point where you couldn't even control the recoil on console. On PC, it might be a different story, but on console, it was so bad her weapon got nerfed to the ground, bro. Since that nerf, nobody's using Zofia. Like, Zofia's out of the equation, out of the fucking game. Nobody's choosing Zofia at all. Like, why would you choose Zofia when you can choose Ash? Like, it makes no fucking sense. Her gadgets were so good. Like, for example, you can breach on the wall, you can also concussion people. But what's the point of a gadget when you have really bad weapons? If her weapons are really bad, I'm sorry, nobody's going to choose you. So her bigger disadvantage is her weapons, and her weapons are still so bad. They try to improve her weapon again, buff it, but again, it's no good. Why would I choose her when I can choose Ash, which is so much more better as an operator? So she belongs there. Valkyrie deserves to be on high because, again, information is key in this game, and she deserves to be like, with her information, it's crucial, and she can actually. It's basically on a situation where win and lose in a situation because you can see where the enemies are, and she's a good informant operator. I can't say his name, like Tobacco. He's a solid character, but I don't feel like he's the best. Yeah, he can delay thermite charge, but he's not going to really stop it. You know, it's still going to happen. You're just basically delaying the inevitable. It's going to happen, bro. Like you throwing that charge, it's not. It's just going to delay me, but that's the only good thing about it. It's just delaying, but still, I'm still going to open that wall. So his weapons are solid, but I don't find him as useful. Like, why would I choose him when I can choose Bandit? Again, you see, there's so many operators to the point where I'd rather choose that than that. So, Kali, look, I barely use Kali. I do not like Kali, but she's lately been useful for Bandit trick because her gadget can also destroy gadgets, like behind the wall, the what is it, reinforced wall. And that being said, she doesn't disable them like Tatra's gadget. She destroys them. So bandit tricking is not going to happen with Kali because guess what? She's going to destroy it, and she's useful for that. But her gun is limiting. Her gun is good, like like you can go, but you have to understand. Usually, the combat close meter is close distance in Rainbow Six Siege. Now, her gun is really a long range gun, which has limitations. It's map situational, and also usefulness dependable. It's strong. It's a strong like a gun. You get you'll down somebody with one shot. But then again, if that person have a SMG and you have that and you're in a close range, guess what? That character has the advantage. And also, yeah, a secondary gun is good, but this is the reason I kind of believe she goes on this SC tier. I don't like her as much, but then again, situational. Like every single operator is situational, right? Fuse, the classic Fuse. If you're playing hostage, the best operator in the game. Not really, but Fuse is. You know what? Fuse has been a long way, right? He has 4 fuses. He can also fuse from reinforced walls, so he's been upgraded. So, and he has a solid gun, and I think he's on a B tier. And if he's not banned, trust me, he's going to. He's not OP. He is not OP at all, but he is going to give headache to the defending team, especially when they are playing, let's say, Canal. And if I go on top and start bombing the fuck out of Canal on the bottom basement part, yeah, he's going to make a lot of headache, and he's a solid character. He's on B tier. This guy, I forgot his name. Because the thing is, the reason I forget his name is because nobody uses him anymore, and the only reason a lot of people used him last season was because he had an ACOG, and that's the only reason people use him. Like it's just either use him or Jaeger. I'll choose Jaeger because his gun is still better, and Jaeger is still more useful than this guy. So I wouldn't choose this. I wouldn't choose him. So he's still low level. He's useless, if I'm being honest. And that's about it. And let's go for him. So this character, I don't like his gun. I don't like G3 as a gun. It's not a good gun. His gun is useless, and his gadget is good because his gadget can push people out, right? From an object. His gadget is not to be used to be killing people. You can kill people, but that's very situational and very rare. He's being used to basically remove a certain operator from a certain location. So if they're like in a corner, you can basically draw them out and then shoot them. But usefulness, I don't know. I'll say he's good. He's okay, but he's not the best. I'll go for D tier. I think he belongs in D. In D, subjectively. Yum, 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 yum. Let's go for her. She's powerful. She's powerful because not only she gives away where the enemy team is coming from, but it kind of slows them down as well. It's like a barbed wire, but without dealing damage from the barbed wire. On contrary, she is powerful. She has a good gun. I think even though they removed her ACOG, she's still powerful. So I'm still going to give her S tier. She's really good. If she's on my team, then it's still beneficial. So good. Let's use you. I don't know, man. Like, she's good at blocking the thing, slowing down the operators, but lately, I wouldn't choose her, to be honest. It depends, like, if you want to slow them down, perfect operator. But other than that, I'll go for D tier. I'm gonna go for D tier for her. She's not as useful as she is. Like, slowing down the operators, yeah, it is useful tool, but I would have used other operators. We only got 2 left now. What do I think about you? For you, look, it's crucial. She's basically like the healthcare, the doc of attacking team. She has solid gun. She's a solid operator. She's really good at increasing the health, and that's the reason I like it. And also not only that, but you can also revive your teammate from far with her ability. So she's useful, but she's not the best. But I'm gonna put her in B. She's useful. She's not the best. She's a good character. And lastly, Jesus Christ, how long is this video, man? I'm telling you, nobody's going to watch this video, man. I'm pretty sure people are going to be just skipping to the end and just like, yeah, I'm going to be watching this because I ain't watching that many. I ain't spending 1 hour watching you, boy. But Scorpio's the last operator. It's a bit debatable. Everything is debatable for me. I say that word out a lot on this video, but she's new. I don't know much about her, but she is annoying as fuck. She is really useful with the amount of times I'm seeing, and I think she belongs on A because with the amount of times where she just you can't expect, man. Like you're fighting, you're focused on the front, then suddenly she can appear on the back, even though she was fighting you at the front. It's very confusing. It's the type of character that I prefer to ban always, and she deserves to be bannable. Always. I don't care what you say, but she deserves to be banned. I don't like her. She's a solid character though. Her gun is really good. Her gun is really solid. It's a new gun since forever. Like they haven't released a new gun in a long time, and with her they released a new gun, and she is solid. She's a solid operator. You wouldn't be in disadvantage of choosing her. But yeah, so this is my operator tier list. Like I have to zoom in and zoom out. So with that being said, this is my opinion. So let's go through it. I think S tier is all good. These are the type of operators that are crucial for certain maps. A tier is they're solid operators. I'm a bit skeptical on Thatcher though. Thatcher, like I said, Thatcher deserves to be on B tier. I'm putting Thatcher on B tier. I am putting him on B tier. Like I said, he's really good at disabling the tools that they use to prevent us from breaching in. But with as long as there's been a bandit, he's useless. I don't care how many times I threw Thatcher. All it takes is bandits to remove his gadget, put it back on again, and that's it. Guess what? By the time I threw the gadget, by the time my teammate puts his breaching charge, that bandit's gonna screw me up. So that's the reason he's gonna drop down. Unless, you know, if you want to go against bandit, and that's you have to choose another operator for that one, like Twitch, or another operator. To be honest, like I said, that's the reason I believe he's gonna go on the C tier. I'm gonna put Tachenko E tier. To be honest, I'm going to put him lower because, like I said, usefulness and his gadget is not as good as it is. That's the reality. But F tier is, yeah, that's quite, like, that is deservable. But one thing I don't think people are going to be agreeing with me is Clash. Clash, some people might say he deserves lower, but like I said, the amount of pressure Clash puts on enemy team is massive, and that alone deserves to be high. Yeah, this is my opinion. Thank you for watching. If you watched it, I'm really grateful. I know this is a really, really long video. I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. And every single like, every single comment really does benefit my channel. If you do disagree, do comment. Let's have a discussion. I'm really, it's not like I get a lot of comments, so I do get the notifications and I see every single comment. So let's have a discussion. What would you do if you agree, disagree? If you disagree, it's okay. It's okay to disagree. It's okay for you not to agree with my opinion. And maybe I'll change a few stuff in the future of this, but this is my opinion. Thank you for watching. This is Rainbow Six Siege Operator Tier List. Subscribe, like, and cheers.